This video is brought to you by Catalyst Energy Mints. Click the link down below to receive up to 10% off your first order.
You got the touch. You got the power.
What's up, everybody? J-Kun here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Primecast. My podcast that doesn't necessarily have a time or date on it, where I basically just gather some of my friends and family and just talk shit for a couple hours. So, our first episode, we did a E3 wrap-up, and then the next video, we changed gears a little bit and did a summer movie wrap-up. So, we're going to be shifting back into gaming mode this time, and we're going to be pretty much numbering down our top 10 favorite games that were released in 2016. 2016, for the most part, has not been an exemplary year, but damn it, at least we got some good games to play. Now, with as many good games as we had, there was our share of shitty games that came out, or at least some games that had a less than graceful start. We're not going to be talking about those. We'll do those later, probably after the end of this year. But for now, let's go ahead and keep on subject. As usual on the Primecast, I don't do this alone. I bring in friends and family, and tonight is no exception. I brought in some of my most loyal moderators from my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/jkunprime, to take up arms for me and join me in this struggle. First is some dude, in my opinion, really needs no introduction. The new, community manager for Broken Alliance Gaming?
Yeah, general manager / fighting game manager.
Anyway, Guido, go ahead and say hi.
Huzzah! What's up, people?
Next up is a friend of mine that I actually know outside of the stream. I've been friends with him for a couple years, worked with him once before. The host of the Podcast Dojo, the host of the Cooking Dojo, and the creator of Kavanaugh Comics, Justin Kontovich. Go ahead and say hi, man.
Hey everyone, what's going on?
Eat the laptop!
Hey everyone, what's going on?
That's a little better.
That was actually perfect. That was perfect. Have the laptop halfway up your nose, and we'll be perfect. But
Snort the laptop.
Yeah. Last but definitely not least is another of my loyal followers. He's been a moderator in my chat for a while, and I finally get to put a voice to the name. My friend Michael, Twisted Hate. Go ahead and say hi.
So when am I getting paid for this?
Never.
Oh. Hi, guys.
but alright, let's go ahead and get this started. All four of us have gone down our personal experiences with gaming for the past year and comprised a top 10 of our favorite games that got released this year. We're going to be kind of following the classic formula, starting at 10 and just working our way down to 1, and it'll basically run in a usual rotation, like I'll say 10 and then so on and so forth. I want to try and not keep this on for way too long. I know it's a podcast, but even then, a podcast shouldn't last like 4 hours. So we're going to say our game, why we like it, and then we're just going to try and keep the ball rolling as best we can, even though we seem to go off the rails almost immediately with virtually every podcast I do. So, I'm going to go ahead and start off
All aboard
first.
the rail train.
Right. Now, with me being a streamer, I do understand that not everybody has access to the games that I have. Not everybody has the disposable income that I do, that I set aside for gaming virtually every paycheck. So, one of the stipulations I added to this list was, it didn't necessarily have to be a game that you played. It could very well just be a game that you watched me play, or watched another streamer play. So, I'll go ahead and start off the list. My number 10 pick for games in 2016 was actually a game that I expected to not really like, and I wound up actually kind of falling in love with it, and that is Unravel.
That game was actually pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I dug
that.
it.
I wasn't sure what to expect with it. I mean, it kind of falls in a overused genre.
Yeah.
So it's
But
kind
at
of
the
like
same
one of
time, they
those.
put a twist to it.
They did. that I think that's one reason why it worked so well. It was like, oh, it's this, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, ultimately, I wound up choosing this game just mainly because, like, I remember E3, PlayStation Experience. I was actually in the theater watching it, and this incredibly jittery, incredibly nervous, what he was Swedish, something like that. I don't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, dude not from America came out just shaking and holding this little yarn doll. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then I wound up ultimately getting it. And I'm a huge fan of games that don't need words to tell a story. They tell everything just by what you see. And number one, for it being an Xbox One title, it looked gorgeous. It ran at 60 frames per second, which is automatically puts me on board. And as I played through it, it had some very complex puzzles, but ultimately not something that just made you throw the controller in frustration. And I wound up loving it, and I played it again off stream and had a blast with it without having to field a chat at the same time. So that's my number 10.
Unravel kind of reminded me of an updated version of Sackboy.
Okay, thank you. I'm not the only one that thought that.
No, but he had a better personality than Sackboy.
I don't know, I thought Yarny had a good personality for what he was.
Yeah.
I mean, you name a character Sackboy. How much personality can you really have?
Yeah, but think about it where our minds generally go if we hear Sackboy.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. But alright, who was next? I think, Guido, you're next?
Yep, Guido is next.
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. I had my list of another thing here. This is why we take so long. My number 10 is actually Final Fantasy 15. I have been a huge fan of like the older generations, 1, 4, 3, 7. So I'm a diehard 7 fan. I'm one of the fanboys. But I also loved 8 and 9. Okay. 15, like in the last years, the game style and the way that they presented the battles system really have put a sour taste in my mouth. But, and I haven't gotten to play it yet, but watching you play it on stream, it was definitely one of the games that I was like, wow, that's actually a lot better than I had ever hoped for, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. And even,
I was actually impressed, because I was not a fan of the lightning whatsoever. The last Final Fantasy I actually enjoyed playing was 10-2, and I hated that one just because it was like Barbie.
Alright, so this is when we dump Twisted from the call. No.
Hey, I'm a big fan of 9, in all honesty, just because it has Orko in it. It's not really named Orko, but...
Call me a sheep if you want. I'm one of the faithful, and you can just see on my arm, Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with 7. I'm sorry. The storyline, the gameplay, the repetitive gameplay. I mean, come on. I played that game straight through at least 6 times.
Yeah.
So I got to admit, all right, 7, storyline-wise, the most in-depth storyline there's been. I will not deny that. The only thing that annoys me is how overused, overplayed Cloud is. Cloud was an emo little bitch.
You described over half the cast of 7 on that.
I was going to say, a lot of 7 was pretty emo.
Yeah, and
Actually,
we'll touch on 7 on
read
another time, because we could talk about that for hours.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's keep it moving. Twisted, I think you're next.
My number 10, actually, I was a fan of the first one. Second one came out recently, and that was Watch Dogs 2. Now, I haven't played it myself. I've only watched gameplay of it, but I was a big fan of 1. I liked that type of game, and from what I watched of 2, there wasn't much of a difference. I really just liked it.
Okay, right on. Alright, Justin, what's your number 10 pick?
Eating the laptop. So,
That was a game?
That game. What console was that on?
Like what you were saying, most of my picks are actually going to be stuff I watched you play.
Okay.
So for me, number 10 was actually Final Fantasy 15.
Damn, that's kind of coming low on the list across the board.
Well, 10 was my favorite, and I know that was probably the last one that was like widely received well by fans. And
Now,
that
Twisted,
was
you
all.
want to talk about a whiny bitch? Titus.
Yeah.
but Lulu was hot. If she
But,
was real, I would have slept with her. That doesn't
And I
say
love
much, but
Upset.
I was gonna say, dude, we could probably go through a whole
But,
list of things that you would have.
Yeah. But alright,
But,
let's keep it down so
yeah,
Justin can talk.
12 and 13 were a miss with me. So 15, I guess you could say, was a breath of fresh air. I'm like, okay, maybe they can bring back this franchise back to its glory days.
And yeah, I'll kind of go along with that. And like having played all the way through it, it was a lot shorter than I expected it to be. It's certainly shorter than any other Final Fantasy I've ever played. And the story, at some parts, just kind of makes you go, huh? But at least like the producers, the people that worked on the game and all that type of shit, they're at least recognizing that, they're acknowledging that, and are doing things to fix it. Like there's apparently a patch coming out that's going to add a whole nother scene to the game that's going to make the story a lot more coherent. Plus, this is the first Final Fantasy I've ever seen that actually has a season pass, where we're actually going to get side stories and shit for the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I feel like they really tried with this one.
Yeah. For
That
us
I'll
having to
agree with.
wait 10 years for it, it could have been better, but you know what? It could have been a hell of a lot worse. I'm happy with what I got. Money well spent.
As long as we didn't get
Agreed.
another final hallway.
Oh Lord.
Oh, the dreaded final hallway.
So that is my number 10.
Alright, so I guess it's back to me at this point. My number 9, funny enough, is actually a mobile game. It's no secret that, like, when I work 10-hour days. I have a lot of time on my hands. I can't always edit footage. Sometimes I'm just regulated to the cell phone or the tablet. And a game that I've actually taken a real big liking to is DC Legends. Now, it's technically a pay-to-win type of game, which I hate that type of shit. But it's done in a format to where, like, if you just log on once or twice a day and just kind of fuck around with it, you can still make some decent progress. And it's like a build-your-dream DC Comics team with turn-based RPG-style battles where you can upgrade and make them stronger. You can even change their appearance at a certain level. And you can do all this shit without spending a fucking dime. And, I mean, it's been an excellent time killer, especially when I'm at work, so that's my pick for number 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 9 is actually a game that, okay, like, little backstory. I do not like the games that are out for it right now. I've never been a fan of most of the series in general. Pokken Tournament.
I'm not mad at that.
I do not. I mean, like, okay, I know that there's a lot of Pokemon fanboys out there and everything like that, but it's one of those games that I've just never been able to have the patience to sit down and play or really enjoy. But you bring Pokken, you bring in my fighting game stuff, and it's a win for me. And it's a lot of fun to watch.
Okay.
I was like that perfect age when Pokemon came out, and even I was like, yeah, Pokemon Tournament was good, but I feel like it could have used some work.
And they're still working on it. There's supposed to be more updates, more DLC, and hopefully with the Switch, you know, we'll see it port over to that, and we'll see a bigger cast. Because there's a lot that they can do with it.
And to quote my grandfather, back in my day, kid, we only had 151 Pokemon.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, Twisted, you're number 9.
So, number 9 on my list is also a mobile game, ironically enough. And I'm actually playing it as we're sitting here doing this webcast. And it's actually Pokemon Go. Now, yeah, I'll probably get hate for that one.
No, I still play it.
I look at it this way. Pokemon Go did in 1 month what exercise programs can't do for 2/3 of America. And that was get people out of their house and walk around. Okay, Pokemon Go is the new Subway diet.
Oh, God.
Minus the child thing.
Yeah, let's not go that route.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just glaze over that and move on. But already,
I mean, right now they only have the first gen. They're starting to bring out some of the second gen. But overall, for motivation for the younger generation to get out and do something other than being on a computer, which don't get me wrong, that's what some of us do most of the time, it works great. You know?
All right, Justin, what's your number 9?
All right, my number 9 is Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. I watched Markiplier play it, and that's a game like I just enjoy watching the story to it, and of course, watching Mark react to the jump scares is always fun.
If only I could scream for a living.
But this one's just lower on the list because those games got so difficult for me after all. I couldn't play them I couldn't even beat the first or the second night.
Goddamn.
Yeah. I really like the story of this, even though it's really, really complicated, but I enjoy watching it. It's fun to, watch other people play it on stream.
Right on. Alright, so it is back to me, I do believe. And my number 8 pick is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And it's a little low on the list because while I did enjoy the game, it didn't really bring anything super new to the table. So it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I basically just bought like a $60 expansion. And then on top of that, you had games, not games, you had characters that were in the roster that nobody had access to unless they pre-ordered it, which I think is bullshit, number 1. And then you had characters in the roster that weren't even completely finished yet and won't be finished until, the Season Pass DLC starts coming out,
So they pulled a Street Fighter?
Worse, because we have no idea when the DLC's coming. But, even with all that, I still enjoyed it. It was still fun making your own character. It was fun customizing everything and just walking in and being an unbelievably overpowered bastard and just one-shotting the shit out of everything. But yeah, I felt like there definitely could have been more to it. But Guido, you're up. That's really all I got to say on it.
We're on 8, right?
Yeah.
All right. Forza Horizon.
Okay.
I don't like a lot of car games. Like, there's the first car game I ever picked up was Midnight Club. I think 2.
Need for Speed 1 was my... Well, no, if we're talking straight up Mario Kart.
Okay, now everybody played Mario Kart. Mario Kart was the OG.
Mario Kart, been ruining friendships for generations.
No, that's Mario Party.
Yeah, it's debatable for both, actually.
Yeah, actually, I'll give you that one. But, like, the way that Forza does their games and just the way they implement things and the way they keep expanding it. I mean, they had the Fast and the Furious downloads that you can get. And, just... They have so many good, like, gameplay in that series. It's just one of those games that you put it on and it's just like, wow, this game looks great. But if you're going to go back to the best racing game, in my opinion, was Need for Speed Most Wanted.
I'll take your word for it. Racing games is basically where I just kind of sit there quietly because I don't play them.
I won't deny that. Racing games, closest to a racing I got was back in the Sega days with Road Rash.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a game.
But alrighty, Twisted, you're up. Number 8.
So, number 8 is, what was that one? Give me a second. I'm trying to think. I know I'm hurting my head.
It might be a good idea to have a list in front of you.
Well, no, I have a Google in front of me.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Actually, number 8 for me was Dishonored 2. It's kind of low, don't get me wrong. Again, that's one of those where I haven't played it personally.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was a big fan of Dishonored 1, and what they did with 2, I was quite happy and quite impressed with it.
Right on. Justin, your number 8.
Alright, my number 8 was actually Street Fighter V, and the only reason it's so low on the list is this was another game where I watched and then I went over to my friend's house and played it. If I had actually had it at home and been able to play it, it'd been higher. But I've always been a fan of Street Fighter. I love playing it, love the characters. I just kind of wish they'd add a little more variety to the storyline, so...
Yeah, and I mean that's something they fix later.
Yeah,
You know,
but
like-
even what they put out for the storyline, it was like, are you kidding me? That's it?
Well, like,
And-
I actually liked, like, not to go so off topic here, but like I like 3 where it was no more Shadowloo, it was Gil, and we had new characters. Like that I thought was cool. I wish they'd do something like that again.
yeah, like I don't understand this whole business of like they keep Street Fighter went forward, and then it went forward, and then it went really forward, then it went back. Then it went kind of forward, but not as forward as it used to went. Now we're going just a little bit more forward, and it's just like, dude, just go forward!
Like, I think Bison has died so many times, I'm surprised he hasn't been in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, he's died just as many times as Shao Kahn. Alright, so, yeah, it's back to me now. We've already talked about this twice, but my number 7 pick was Final Fantasy 15. And it was just mainly because, I mean, we waited 10 years for the game, and I wasn't disappointed with what I got, so I don't feel like we should rehash it any more than we already have, so I'll just go ahead. Yeah, mine's 15. So, Guido,
All
you're
right.
number 7.
Number 7, I have my list. There's my list. I don't want to use that one because actually, you know what? Gears of War 4.
Okay.
I love the Gears scene. You know, I played it competitively. I did a lot, you know, with Gears and just really loved how it went. And my only gripe with it, I think the story lacked a little bit. I like the direction they're going in because it's set up for more.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it was missing a little bit of flair from the original 3.
And yeah, that's understandable, and I feel like that's something we'll encounter, just because like it's just kind of how like game marketing goes. It's like, okay, we got this really popular title, and we have this brand new console, so we're gonna make a brand new story for a new generation, and we're gonna push a new character. And you sometimes tend to run into that problem when you do something like that. It's like, okay, we already know this set story. So, because we have a new console and we want to put out a new game, we're going to make a new story with new characters, and people are just not going to instantly gravitate to those new characters.
Yeah.
You need to give them time to flesh out. Because, I mean, like when Gears 1 came out, nobody really gave a shit that much. We didn't really give a shit until Gears 2.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
Gears 1 was like that, wow, this is something different. This is, you know, like, this could be the next Halo for Xbox and stuff like that. And it really took on a life of its own. And you got the COG, and you know, you got the Lotus, and just everything that just compiled that made Gears Gears. And now you have the new generation, which is fine. You know, I love the fact that, you know, his kid is the one that's carrying the torch.
Yeah.
But there was no, like, you had, oh, what the hell is his name? The football, they're a big football player. I'm totally
Coltrane.
Coltrane. You had Coltrane. Coltrane's personality alone made you want to keep playing that game.
Oh, God, yeah.
The one-liners, everything. Dom, even though the way they did that whole thing at the end with Dom just killed me.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. We've seen the man tears.
Mhm.
But, I mean, it's just... There were so many characters that you would, you know, you wanted to see if the one guy would live. You know, you hated Bear.
Yeah.
You know, in this game, you didn't have that yet. So I'm hoping, you know, in the next one, it's like, hey, you know, here's some new characters. Here's something that someone you can identify. Here's a character that you just really, really love to hate and hope he dies, but he never does. You know, just stuff like that. That's what I think was missing. But all in all, Gears 4 was a solid game.
Yeah, it was. Alright, Twisted, your number 7.
So number 7 for me was one I actually watched on your stream, Josh. The only reason why it even scored on my list is because despite the upgraded graphics and storyline, it reminded me a lot of the classic, and that was Doom.
Hey, now we're talking.
Alright, now, I don't know how many of your viewers actually remember the old Doom and the wonderful graphics it had,
Yeah.
but the gameplay and watching you play that game, I really got a nostalgic feeling for it.
Yeah, that
Alright.
game was excellently done. Like, I
Yeah,
definitely tip my hat to fucking Bethesda for bringing that out of the dirt and putting some spit and polish on it and making it a good game again.
To the point where maybe a whole new generation will get, involved into the classic game series. Now, we won't talk about the movie.
Yeah, let's not.
Please, no.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that was The Rock's best performance. He died.
God damn!
Damn, man. You don't like The Rock's acting?
Damn!
Oh, no, I think that's fine, but...
At that point, you realize that the thumbtacks that are holding up your green screen are very, very visible on a yellow screen.
Oops.
But alrighty, Justin,
Those
your number
thumbtacks
7.
are aesthetic.
Alright, my number 7 is another one I watched you play, and that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan.
Wow, I didn't expect that one to make the list.
I mean, I enjoyed it, especially when you compare it to that god-awful one that came out like a year or two before. What was that? Something
Out of the Shadows? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was horror bad.
But yeah, I always enjoy the Turtle games, especially the beat-em-up games. Like, one thing I thought was really cool about this game, they actually managed to make Bebop and Rocksteady kind of cool and badass.
Yeah, they turned them into MMO bosses. I sat there the entire time like, what the fuck is up with this?
Well, I remember watching you play it, and when you got to Bebop and he's using a chainsaw, I'm like, why couldn't we got him in the 87 too?
Right?
But
Hey,
there's
you
one
want to talk
big-
about a game that was impossible to beat? Let's go to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for NES.
That don't count no more. We've seen that sped run to death.
Yeah, I know, but still,
Oh, yeah.
back
but
in the
there's
day,
one big complaint I have about Mutants in Manhattan. Why couldn't we have gotten a 4-player mode? I mean, actually, as of this year, with the Nintendo 64, we have had 4-player consoles, you know?
That's very
So-
true.
To me, that was such a missed opportunity there. You know, not having 4 players. Like, to me, that'd have been great. You know, just
Oh,
get
yeah.
3 of your friends and just playing the game.
Alright, so on to me, and hey, look at this. I'll be mentioning a game that hasn't already been talked about once already. So, my number 6 vote, this one was pretty recent, and although the ending of it pissed me the fuck off, everything leading up to that ending I had a blast with, and that is Dead Rising 4.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I heard the ending pissed me off. I'm like, oh, it's Dead Rising. Here we go.
Yep. And it wasn't so much of the ending. I mean, if that's ultimately how you want your character to go out, then hey, whatever, more power to you. But don't come out on social media, on the internet and shit and say, oh, the true ending, he doesn't die, but it's locked behind a DLC wall. And like, that right there just instantly like made me enemies with Capcom. I was just like, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
Well, that's not the first time they've done that.
I
no,
know
it's not.
No, it's not.
I know it's not, but this time it was with a game series I liked.
It's like, no!
Yeah.
Well,
And see,
I'm just glad
I've been
movies haven't
editing.
started doing
I've
that.
been editing that playthrough and everything too, and I have never seen myself have such a because I mean, with the stream, you have a bit of an act going, especially if it's a game that you've played before. But my reaction to spoilers here, Frank just letting go of the helicopter, my reaction was so fucking genuine. Like, looking back on it, I'm like, I'm surprised I didn't cry.
I know you shed tears for Dom, but where's the tears for Frank?
Right? What is wrong with me?
I
But
don't know,
anyway,
man.
everything leading up to the ending, running through Willamette, all the shenanigans you could make with the combo weapons, and all the fun that you could have with the exosuit now, like, everything leading up to that point was just fabulous.
I like the new combo, like the combo system, like the updated version. Blueprints needed and stuff like that. Yeah, I actually thought that was kind of good because it made people search out a little bit more, I would think.
Yeah, now that is true. Like with Dead Rising 2 and even in some cases Dead Rising 3, if you didn't have the blueprints for the shit and you already knew the combination, you could just do it. But with Dead Rising 4, it's like, no, you can't do it. You gotta find the blueprint first. So that does encourage you to go explore Willamette a little bit more. Go find those fucking cell phones. Go find those newspapers. Go find those blueprints. Learn more and explore more of the area because it will pay off if you ultimately do decide to do it.
Yeah.
But alright, Guido, you're number 6.
Alright, number 6 was one I actually started playing it. You know, I wanted to play it a long time ago, but I started playing it for the stream. Was Destiny. The Rise of the Iron. The Rise of Iron. And the Salted Causes. Honestly, the game itself, you know, I'm a huge Halo nut. Like, I love everything Halo. The books, the comics, toys, everything Halo. And to see Bungie do this, you know, it made me really happy. I was like, oh, this could be a great thing. And then it flopped. Yeah. And they kept rebuilding it and rebuilding it and rebuilding it. Well, we started with the Taken King, and it was like, okay, I can really get into this now, and especially when you have a squad to play with. But what they did with the newest version of the game was like, okay, this is awesome. I mean, I watched enough gameplay. I haven't been able to play it lately just because of other commitments with BXA and, you know, ESL. But
and
it's
we've
like
kind of sworn off it for the time being.
Yeah, there was a much needed break after the last time I watched. I didn't, you know, I wasn't able to make it, but I watched the stream and it was just like, wow. That's
things got tense.
It did, but you know, sometimes you have to do that with games. But I think, you know, Rise of the Iron was definitely a much needed game, and I mean, I guess you can consider it a game. I mean, it's a standalone. It's an add-on, but it's a standalone game as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my 6.
Alright, Twisted, your number 6.
So my number 6 is another throwback game. They made a party pack of, and it's Jack Party Pack 3. Now, if you ever played You Don't Know Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they made an updated party pack where it quite literally is made for having friends over and such.
Yeah, they added the game to it. What was it? It's like, it starts with an F.
Fibbage.
Fibbage, that game is awesome.
You got Fibbage, you got Quiplash, you got Defusing the Bomb. There's 3 party packs total. And all in all, for $70, you get about 10 games total. That almost all of them are 2 players. The great thing about it is you can have 8 people and only one PS4 controller, and all 8 people can still play. They can sit here and quite literally just log on to Jack TV from their phone and still play along with you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So
it's insane.
It's really fun to do.
Alright, Justin, you're up.
Alright, so my number 6 was also Dead Rising 4.
Nice.
You touched on a lot of the gameplay elements, I would have said, but, like, you know, I love the Dead Rising series because I love seeing all the characters interact with the zombie apocalypse. But one thing I thought was really cool was we got a much older Frank West trying to deal with all the PTSD of, like, what he went through in the previous games. And I thought that was neat to see him, like, you know, interact with that, deal with all that. Like, it made him feel like a real person.
I also love the fact that, like, throughout everything, like, yeah, Dead Rising 4 had a lot of super serious moments, but the tension was immediately broken because of how much of an asshole Frank is.
Oh,
Frank
yeah,
is
and then I thought, you know, then, of course, some of the things you did, like, I remember when you were, like, riding the tricycle and, like, shooting at the zombies.
Yeah, for those that didn't...
The little amigo.
Yeah,
Little amigo.
for those that didn't, like, see my playthrough, I found... there was a point in the game where you had to go into the mall and fight a bunch of dudes dressed up as knights. So, like, I'm killing these guys, and I'm picking up their sword and shield, and then on top of that, I have a Mega Man hard hat helmet on, acting like a fucking knight, and I just stop for a second and look down, and I'm like, I found my steed, and I go charging full throttle at the boss on, like, a toddler tricycle.
Jesus.
It was worth it. It was worth it. The whole time he's yelling, I regret nothing!
Onward, noble steed.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of the great things about the Dead Rising series. That game is built for lunacy. Just how stupid can you get it? And that's what ultimately drives that series. But alright.
But,
oh, go ahead.
okay, I was just gonna say, yeah, the only thing I'd really complain about was, of course, the ending.
Yeah.
Let's just hope we get a good one. You know, in the DLC.
Yeah, from spoilers here, like, from what I'm hearing, basically they're going to be taking their cue from Dead Rising 1, where you're going to get the ultimate ending in a DLC called Frank Rising, which is basically overtime mode, which is like that extended period that they seem to do in all of the Dead Rising games, and that's ultimately where the true ending is going to be. Now,
Well,
that better be in the season pass that I paid $20 fucking for, or I'm gonna
It
be
probably
pissed.
It won't be.
But all the shit that we talked about with Frank's love for mini golf,
God.
there is mini golf DLC coming.
Jesus.
I was
Christ.
so happy. I was so happy to hear that. As much as he rambled on about mini golf, I was just like, there better be some DLC for this. But alright, so we are now on to number 5.
Number five.
Number 5.
Number 5.
5 golden rings.
Just...
For calling this.
Alright, so my number 5 is something that was already brought up once, so I don't really feel the need to completely rehash it. And that's Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 took my number 5 spot because, like, I knew what this was going to be going in, and I even had my, like, predictions that, like, oh, they're going to kill somebody, and thankfully, spoilers, they didn't. So, that ultimately made the gaming experience for me a lot more pleasant. The story was a little weak, but I expected that because you're getting ready to tell a brand new story, and how you ended it, you've immediately set up the next set of games. So I'm really curious to see how the story's going to play out. And yeah, overall, it's just a good game, and the multiplayer's good too. So just like, if you haven't played Gears, you don't necessarily need to play the other ones to play this one. It couldn't hurt. But yeah, it's a buy in my book.
Alright. Number 5 for Guido. I'm gonna go with Overwatch. I love the characters. I love everything, that the Blizzard's given. Like in all Blizzard games, though, you question some of their choices they've made.
Like all of them.
Yeah, majority of it, yeah. Especially, after, like, the last StarCraft patch. It was like, wait, why the hell did you do that? But Overwatch, I like that it's blowing up in the scenes as far as competitive. The new Overwatch League that's coming, where you can actually start to root for cities instead of just teams.
No shit.
Oh yeah, they announced it at BlizzCon. They're gonna do like the old Championship Gaming series, where you had a team tied to a city.
Now, is this ultimately going to wind up being a thing where, like, because it's Blizzard, yeah, they're technically esports, but Blizzard's going to be handling everything, and the finals for everything with their name on it is going to be at BlizzCon and not either ESL or any type of esports event?
As far as I know, that they're going to have a separate... I don't think it'll end at BlizzCon. I think they'll have their own, like... I mean, there's skeptical things on, like, all the league information itself, but they've just started Season 3 of the Overwatch tournaments.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's going to be 2 separate things. So I'm pretty sure one will be held at BlizzCon, so, like, all the invitationals and stuff like that will be held at BlizzCon, while the other, or MLG, Oh, yeah, MLG is going to be involved, because Activision and Blizzard are owned, and they own MLG now.
Oh, good. So MLG is officially back. That's good.
Yeah, they have this weekend is Vegas.
Okay then.
8-team invitational for Overwatch. But I mean, like, when you play the game, I have some quirks. I don't think that you should be allowed to pick multiple characters. I think that you should be able to, just kind of work on things.
Okay.
But it is what it is for right now. It's still growing.
Yeah. Well, only time will tell. Alright, Twisted, you're number 5.
So mine number 5 is a rage inducer. Can anybody guess what it is?
Mario Maker?
No, well, okay, but no. Actually, it was Dark Souls 3.
Oh shit, yeah.
Now,
I'm
I'm a
a
fan
Dark
of
Souls.
any
You
game
don't
that
win,
makes
you just do a
people
little
solve
better each
I-
time. Go ahead.
I'm a very big fan of the Dark Souls series, though, and I thought they actually did really well with Dark Souls 3, up to and including, let's increase the rage inducing. I was quite happy with that. I mean, if they were tuning to piss off their players, they did well.
So, since you're such a big fan of that series, that means you'll tune in when I do Let It Die, right?
Is that like the hardcore version of Disney's Let It Go?
No, it's... God damn it. Off the rails, number 2.
Someone needs to make an animated music video of that, like a metal version.
I'm surprised someone hasn't already, to be honest. No, Let It Die is basically like this techno-punk arcade-style Dark Souls type game that they
I'm
released
off
for
work,
free
you
on
know me.
PlayStation.
Hey,
You know
Free's
me,
always
if
good,
I'm
right?
off work, I will definitely be there.
Alright, cool. Alright, Justin, you're number 5.
Alright, so my number 5 was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Okay.
Now, I loved the first Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but kind of like what you were saying, this just felt like a glorified expansion pack.
Yeah.
And I mean, the series has been around for so long, they can only do so many what-if scenarios that work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another thing that maybe kind of hurt it is the fact that, Dragon Ball Super is still going on in Japan, so they're still working on more possible scenarios for it.
Now, there is one scenario that they did in the game that I will tip my hat to and give honorable mention. Is with this whole time patrol thing where, like, yeah, we're in there to fucking make sure the timeline goes as it should, completely ignoring the fact that their interference in the fights fucks with the timeline anyway. But,
Hey, we don't play that game for timeline continuity.
you're right. But there was one moment in the timeline that I thought was really good. Trunks, from, like, the History of Trunks movie and all that different type of stuff. He's part of the Time Patrol, and one of the parts in the story, like, you find him struggling with, like, okay, do I do my duty and don't screw with time, or do I go and fix the timeline to where my version of Gohan doesn't get murdered by the androids? And I thought that was very, very well done.
Oh, that's
Didn't they
great.
have the same issue in the
I
actual
watched
anime too?
Yes and no. Just simply because, like, yeah, he went back in time to try and stop it all from happening, but when he came back to his time, nothing had changed, which is why you see, like, Dragon Ball Abridged make fun of the shit of, like, well, is time travel like this? Well, no, unless it's multiverse theory, and then it winds up being multiverse theory, so Trunks just kind of feels like he wasted his time, but he just kind of sticks around anyway.
And then Krillin ends up sleeping with Android 18.
Oh no, that's actually canon.
Yeah, that's just disturbing.
Hey, we don't question the comics and the cartoons. We just accept it and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I question
there's no changing it now.
And of
That's
course,
true.
I love character creation.
Mm-hmm.
But here's something I also thought was kind of a missed opportunity. Now, I'm sure you may know some of this is inspired by, like, Dragon Ball Online.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have added more races to this. Like, in the Dragon Ball Online, they have a cell race. They have you can be an android. You can even be a Supreme Kai. Like, I wanted to see that.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but like even I can admit, with it feeling like it lacks substance, I feel like that would just oversaturate just one part of the game, though, where the rest of it would still be the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, since
But
the
I definitely see where
character
you're coming from on
customization
that.
is all you, really.
Yeah. But alright, so we are down to number 4, and
Number 4.
yes, no need to echo this one. Alright, so my number 4 pick is one that virtually everybody expected it to basically be dead on arrival, and then everyone actually played it and went, holy shit, this is great, why didn't we get this at first? And it's Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is the prime example of learning from your mistakes. The first game had a campaign that was tied in through the multiplayer, that whether you win or lose, the story remained the same, and it turned a lot of people off, and the multiplayer got stale within a couple weeks. Now, from what I hear, the multiplayer on this is still starting to get a little stale because they didn't change all that much to it, but they finally added a single-player campaign to it, and not only did they add it, they added a interesting single-player, they added a immersive single-player, they added characters that you took a liking to, that you wound up caring for, whether or not they lived or died. And hands down, was one of the best single-player experiences I had played this entire year.
Oh my god, a company learned from their mistakes? Holy shit.
No shit.
I know.
EA, of all people.
Oh, let's not go there, man. I worked for them for a while. Let's not go there. The stupidity.
EA needs to bring out another American McGee's Alice.
Yeah. Alright, Guido, you're number 4.
Alright, number 4 is going to be... I've actually never played the game. I've played some of the series in the past, but Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Like, I saw the hype behind the game. You know, everyone's really excited. Oh, we got a new Phoenix Wright. We got a new... Like, it can't be that good. I watched probably a good 40 hours of streams to finish this damn game.
I may not be able to finish it on my own, but damn it, I'm gonna watch someone finish it.
Hell yeah, man! It was awesome. It was something, you know. They really haven't had a good Phoenix Wright, like a really solid game from Phoenix Wright in a while.
That's
and for
true.
them to do that, it was great. I was like, wow, this game is actually really good. So, I mean, that was mine.
Alright. Michael, number 4.
Number 4. Now, time to multitask. Answer this while ordering pizza. Number 4 was actually the Batman Telltale series.
Nice.
That to me, yes, it wasn't done by the original ones that did the 3 good Batman games. We won't talk about the Abomination.
Oh, you mean
And-
Rocksteady.
But it was still done really well. It was a real good twist to a classic. I truly did like what Telltale did with the Batman series.
Yeah. Alright, Justin, number 4.
So mine is also Telltale Batman. And, you know, one of the things I thought was really cool about this game, you know, growing up in the 90s, I loved Choose Your Own Adventure books, so now you mix it with Batman, and that just makes it even better.
Hey, there you
God,
go.
I miss those.
And, you know, most of these games I admitted that I did just watch you play on stream,
Yeah.
but you actually let us pick, you actually let us, like, have a vote and what decisions were made, so in a way it was kind of like I played it.
Yeah, because with something like that, especially with something like anything done by Telltale, it's very easy to throw it to the chat, because number one, you're nothing without your chat, so you better do something to appease them. And with something like that, where like I'm really only physically controlling the game for maybe 20 minutes out of like an hour and a half long episode, why not throw it out to the crowd? What do they want to see? Because if I want to see a different choice, then hey, I can always go back and play it again later. So, yeah, I really enjoyed doing a Batman for the stream, to the point that I'm actually willing to play some of the other Telltale series. Like, I have Walking Dead Seasons 1 and 2 that they gave me for free. They gave me The Wolf Among Us for free. And, hey, why not bring some more to it, so...
I mean, honestly, I hope they make a second installment of Telltale Batman.
Oh,
honestly,
like
like
with
a lot
how
of
Episode 5 ended,
Telltales.
it's almost a certainty.
Oh yeah, totally.
Alrighty, so... my number 3, so only 3 more to go here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, mine, once again, was something that was kind of already talked about. And that is Doom. Doom was pretty much hands down, like, virtually every year I have, like, 1 or 2 first-person shooters that I wind up playing. And Doom stood out among all of them. As much as I dug Titanfall 2, I loved Doom even more. It was clean, it was good looking, there was a ton of things to do. The amount of mayhem that you could cause in that game just kept bringing me back for more. And the fact that, like, all the DLC that they've released for this game has been free. Players can actually make their own levels and shit now, and I think there's some dude out there that's trying to recreate every single level from every single Doom game in this new engine, to the point that I'm like, damn, I need to pick this game back up and start playing it again.
And they had explodey barrels.
That too, yeah. Always exploding barrels that I died from more than I care to admit. But I wasn't a humongous fan of the multiplayer. Like, I don't know, it felt like Call of Duty on steroids, and I didn't really care for that. But the single player and all the extra content that you could do past that was more than enough to keep me hooked. But let's go ahead and move on, because, like, we've already talked about that one at a fairly decent length. So, Guido, you're number 3.
Number 3 is Battlefield 1. I'm a sucker for...
Okay.
What'd you say?
I was just kind of like, I got nothing. Go, okay.
Well,
you
no,
know,
like,
you know
okay,
me. I don't like Battlefield. So.
Yeah, I know. And see, I was a big fan of Bad Company, 2142. Their newer installations were just pissing me off, but they went back to a game that, you know, really no one's ever touched. I mean, you can't really say, well, there was this great World War I game. Because, I mean, 90% of that war was fought in trenches. So to build a game based around that was awesome. To see them, you know, fly the biplanes and shoot down the Zeppelins and stuff like that. I mean, it's like, you can't really lose at that point.
Okay.
It was great. And it definitely really stepped up where they've been lacking the last couple iterations of Battlefield. I mean, because Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, they were ass. Pure and simple. They were so many mistakes in those games.
Somebody is questioning you.
You do not question Guido!
Hey, it's still better than control or copy and paste. I mean, Call of Duty.
Yeah, pretty much.
It keeps selling, so why would they stop?
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah, they will just keep doing it year after fucking year until you people get it through your head. You don't like it, quit buying it.
Because quite literally, when I was in my video game design course, we actually took apart a couple of the Call of Duty games, and we looked at everything, and quite literally, all they did was copy the models over, and maybe added a new texture.
And I'm gonna throw some shade, fighting game wise, and like I feel like I'm kind of betraying myself when I say this, but at the same time, it's done correctly, so I guess it's not really that much type of shade. Call of Duty copy and pastes virtually every year, but Tekken really hasn't changed shit since its conception, and we keep buying that, so...
This is true.
But then again...
Wait, did you say Tekken?
Yes, Tekken is done correctly.
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
because it's all the bugs and everything are beaten out by the Koreans, and they just come and beat us out.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, but in all honesty, Tekken, though, I mean, they never let go of a bad game. I mean,
Tekken is one of those prime examples to where, like, you don't need to fix it. Because the formula's that sound. So
exactly. I agree with that.
All right.
Tekken was the one that had King back in the day, wasn't it? With the cheap ass moves.
Still has
Let's
King.
pick
Are
out
you
your
kidding me? King hasn't gone anywhere.
King's still in it. King's a mainstay. The only character that they added that was like King was Armor King, and they added a whole story background to him, and he was like Tekken 3, I think. And he made it.
No. Armor King has been around since Tekken 1. He was in Tekken 1, Tekken 2.
I know he was in Tekken 1.
He wasn't in Tekken 3. I don't remember if he was... No, he wasn't in 3 or 4. They brought him back in Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. That's when Armor King returned. Because I remember that because I mained Armor King for a while.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Alright, Justin, your number 3.
Alright, my number 3 is Pokemon Go. And the reason this wasn't higher on the list for me is, like, there was a lot of problems with it when it first came out. Like, so many people on it that once the servers would crash because they didn't think people would want to play it. I'm like, really, it's Pokemon, and we actually get to go out and catch these things. Who wouldn't want to play it?
Pokemon Go is not on my list, like, because, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, Pokemon was after my time, and just from my perspective. Like, I was already in 7th, 8th grade when, like, Pokemon originally came out, so, like, I kind of feel like I missed the wave to a point. But...
Were we really?
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
It's been that long.
Yes,
and it's like I told you, I was 11. I mean, I was the same age as the main character of the
Yeah,
series,
so, like, with you, I totally understand. But the only thing that irritates... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the main difference between you, Justin, and the main character is you got older.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
That's true. My kids are watching him now, and he's still the same age. I'm like, are you kidding me? Age, man, age!
No, but, like, I love the concept of getting people out, and get them walking around, get some exercise in them and shit like that. But whoever made the placements for the fucking Pokemon gyms, I want to drag him out into public and beat the unholy shit out of him. Because, like, at my job, I'm what is called a floater. I go wherever the coverage is needed. And, like, 4 times in a row, I got sent to a store at a shopping center where some building, something, and at one store it was a fountain right outside my door. That were fucking Pokemon gyms, and I work on commission. Like, my paycheck depends on whether or not you buy something, and people coming in, staring at their cell phone, oh, I'm just here for the Pokemon gym. Get the fuck out of my store!
But, you know, it was actually more the experience for me. Like, I loved that people were getting out, they were interacting. Like, I was even reading stories about people overcoming depression because it was getting them out of the house and interacting.
Yeah, and I totally respect that aspect of it.
Exactly.
Well, like, when I said it's Pokemon, who would want to play it? Of course, anyone who's been into Pokemon for a while, you know? And what was cool, there was a lot of Pokestops because I live in a city. So I loved, like, when the game came out, like, its first 2 months, I would just, you know, come home from work, I'd just walk my dog out in the city, and there'd be, like, swarms of people playing it. It was so cool. I miss that.
Alright, so down to the final 2.
You never did get me for my 3rd.
I didn't?
No, you skipped.
Oh shit, my bad, dude. My bad.
We don't care about your 3rd.
Yeah, what's your number 3, Twisted?
Actually, my number 3's already been talked about, so I won't touch on it much.
Okay.
Is Overwatch. And that's simply the main reason why I like Overwatch. I'm not a fan of FPS, but the simple fact of every content available in the game is there. You don't have to pay to win.
Yeah.
That's
Everything's right there, out of the box. You can earn, you know, that's the great draw for me. You know, it's the fact that it's there, you know.
Hang on, I'm typing out the message here.
Uh-oh. Who are you cursing out?
No one.
Oh. Oh, let's see. There's her pizza. Now I want my pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
He, like, Clowns was saying something in the chat. I'm like, well, that's why he never ages. And I'm like, it's Pokemon, Clowns. I automatically don't care.
Yeah.
Alright, so we are moving on to number 2. My number 2, I'm pretty sure this was not a shock to anybody because we already talked about it at a decent length. And that is Batman the Telltale series. Anyone that knows me, I am a 100% sucker for a superhero game. Like I said before, I was skeptical about it at first because I always viewed the Telltale games as like, it's not really a game, it's an interactive video, and that's all that it is. Like, I'm not really playing anything. But how the story was handled, it was a completely new spin on how Batman was depicted. The characters were interesting, everybody played their parts incredibly well. The chemistry between Troy Baker as Batman and everybody else in the world was just absolutely top-notch. And yeah, at this point, I definitely cannot wait for Season 2, because it's a certainty at this point.
Now here's a side question for everybody, and including chat, too. Now, when you think of Joker, who do you think of, voice-wise, acting-wise?
Mark
Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
It's who we grew up with. He was the best Joker that there is.
Yeah.
I agree.
How's the tuberculosis over there? Doing good?
Yeah, she's got a chest cold that moved up into the throat cold, so.
God, it sounds like she coughed up a bar stool.
Hey, at least it's not like my wife. She's a big fan of overachieving. And instead of getting pneumonia in one lung, she got it in both.
Damn. Going for the gusto.
She wants that medal, man. She's like, I'm going for the gold.
Alright, Guido, what's your number 2?
Number 2, I didn't play 2, I didn't play 1. I had some friends recommend this game, Mafia 3.
Alright.
If anything, the soundtrack alone in this game is insane.
Now, I did hear that the soundtrack was absolutely amazing.
I mean, like, I'm a big believer that, you know, music is, like, pretty much the building blocks of life.
Okay.
You know, you can relate anything to music, any time in history, any special moment, anything can all be reflected to music. But also, music can build a movie, it can build a game, everything. And the soundtrack alone just pushes the game. I mean, everything was done perfectly.
Well, I mean, like, hell, like, why do you think one of the big reasons I love Final Fantasy VII so much? It's not because the writing is superb. It's because the music is so damn good.
Yeah, but
that's the reason why I like
a lot of nostalgia. That can be done for a lot of nostalgic games because, you know, you hear the Zelda tune, you hear the Mario tune, you hear Metroid, you hear, you know, just pick any classic game and that music stands out because you know that you hear these different, you know, tunes and stuff like that, that something's happening, something dramatic, something exciting, you know, just everything. And like with Mafia, it's just, they picked an amazing variety of music that actually built on the game as you went. And the gameplay itself was actually really good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan of those type of games.
Yeah.
You know, like
Now,
Grand
talk
Theft
about
Auto.
music making a game. Look at Josh played it on his stream, Brutal Legend. That game alone
I
had
don't care what
200
anybody
plus
says.
classic metal songs.
Yet, in that entire library that was available to me in the car, I only listened to like 2 songs.
I've listened to the entire album at least 5-6 times. And it's just like,
Except Girlfriend by freaking whatever opening play.
anybody catch that? I heard Girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hear a damn thing.
The opening song, the people on stage are going to play,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
start out heavy, and all of a sudden it's like Girlfriend. It's like, oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
baby metal.
Thanks for drudging that back out of my memory,
Hey.
you fuck.
There's nothing wrong with baby metal, man. Those girls are awesome.
Yeah, baby metal throws down. I will give them props.
So will I. I'll give shit, but for being in a mostly male industry, they do really damn good.
Yeah. But alright, what is your number 2, Twisted?
My number 2. Another one where I've just watched gameplay of it was XCOM 2.
That is a game I wanted to buy, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, because I had so much fun with the first one.
Yeah, it was one of those where they sat here and... Pardon me why I figured this all out. But they did everything they needed. I liked it. I haven't seen very many bugs. I've only watched gameplay. Because I'm a sheltered person, I only play Lego games. And I just like what they did with it, honestly.
Right on. Alright, Justin, your number 2.
Alright, my number 2 was Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Okay.
I could definitely go on about this one. I mean, I even did a full review of it on my main channel. Shameless plug.
Please don't then.
Yeah, but I'll just say that I really like that kind of the direction Pokemon's going in, where it's like, I feel like it's almost getting to the point where it's being more storyline and character heavy. And, you know, they keep adding all these new creatures, and that's what people complain about, but I'm like, just make a good story and people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I like that they're doing that, and I remember that meme you shared yesterday about what's an opinion you have that isn't popular with everyone else.
Okay.
Team Skull is way better than Team Rocket.
I'm so surprised I didn't catch more hell for that post than I did.
That's something a lot of gaming companies don't seem to realize. You can have the greatest graphics, run at 60 FPS, 4K, but if your storyline sucks, you're gonna lose people.
Yeah.
And a lot of gaming don't realize that.
Well, it's like the one theme I saw one time that says playing games for the graphics is like watching porn for the story.
I play games for the graphics, yeah, and I just watch porn to see if the guy will actually fix the sink.
I wonder if the pizza gets
shit.
Oh,
that's
that
my
was
number
good.
2.
No, what were you saying, Justin? We were too busy giggling, I'm sorry.
Oh no, all I said is I want to know if the pizza gets delivered.
Right?
Hey, I worked as a pizza delivery. That shit never happened.
No, not once. Not fucking once. Hell,
But yeah,
last time I ordered pizza, because apparently, in my fat ass, fucking state of mind, apparently I order from Pizza Hut quite a bit and just never fucking realized it. Because they know me by name at this point. They're like, oh, you're the gaming guy, right? And I'm just like, have I grown so fat?
You want the special, right? The meat lovers, the family-sized breadsticks, the 2-liter Coke, and the extra sauce. Yeah, okay, it'll be there in 5 minutes.
Now, with me, it's always been, and good God, I am realizing just how much of a fat ass I thought I was. It's kind of always the same thing. I'm very stuck in my ways when it comes to pizza. I want a stuffed crust, white sauce with beef and bacon.
See,
No
but
beef,
Josh, I'm no
pepper,
different than you.
Yeah.
I'm very stuck in getting a pizza with no sauce, triple cheese, every meat on it, and extra provolone cheese.
There you go. You like
And it
what
weighs
you
about
like.
10 pounds when it gets here.
I was gonna say that's called the heart attack special or the artery clogger. Which one would you prefer?
After you eat that thing, you can confidently sit up and go, I have 6 minutes to live.
I'll let you know how it all tastes when it gets ordered.
Oh, man.
Reminds me of the SNL skit of Taco Town.
Oh,
We
God.
take an ordinary taco and we deep fry it and we put it in a blueberry waffle and we do this and this and it comes in a 10-gallon tote with our homemade salsa and guacamole.
God damn.
Oh my god!
I am gonna throw up.
Dude, YouTube it, man. Taco Town SNL. You gotta see that. It's hilarious.
God, I can already tell. Like, I get to work tomorrow. I work at a dead ass fucking store. I can already tell I'm gonna wind up ordering fucking Pizza Hut. Fuck you guys.
We hold no responsibility for that. That is our disclaimer.
But alright, so
That's my number 2.
Oh, was that?
That was his
I
number.
was just saying, so that's my number.
Okay.
Disclaimer: No, we hold no responsibility for cravings in said broadcast.
Right. Where's that fucking Pizza Hut sponsor when I goddamn need it? I'll wear a Pizza Hut shirt on stream. Fuck it.
That was out for fact reasons.
This stream is brought to you by fucking Clear American Sparkling Water and goddamn Pizza Hut. Eat up, bitches.
Eating healthy while killing yourself, one day at a time.
Yeah. But alright, so we've reached the end of the road, and we have now reached number 1. And
Yeah.
I'm actually going to save mine for last, just in case one of you guys make mention of what I got. So Guido, go ahead. What's your number 1?
I'm probably gonna take it because you haven't mentioned this yet, and I know you're a huge fan of the series, and you got me into the series.
Uh-oh.
Uncharted 4.
You fucking son of a bitch.
I
I knew it, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna get to this point, and Jacob's gonna be pissed as hell at me for this one.
Alright, spoilers. My number 1 was Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Alright, so you and me can just kind of talk about it at the same time.
Because, I mean, I didn't play the games. I always saw the games. I never played the games. And you did the run through.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta get these games. I need these games. And so I went out and I bought, since GameStop had them all in the cheap bins, and I still have my PS3. What the hell? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I played through them now, and I you can't find a better storyline, and it's coherent. It's cohesive.
Yeah. And the
they
characters are interesting, it's funny, it's serious, it's everything you want in a game.
It really is, and if they ever make a movie of it and they screw it up, I swear to God, I'm firebombing Hollywood.
Well, let's not go there because I'm kind of hesitant about the Assassin's Creed movie coming out.
With Assassin's Creed, you already have a way out because they already went on record and said that the Assassin's Creed movie is its own story. It's a side story, just like all these different Assassin's Creed Chronicles games they've been cranking out. So if it doesn't coincide with the main storyline, it doesn't fucking matter because they already went on record and said it's not going to.
All right then.
Yeah.
Good Hollywood disclaimer there.
But
we have an out.
What?
I was gonna say they have an out. That's a good thing. But I mean, Uncharted 4 was just, I was so worried that it was gonna end terribly or something, and it didn't.
Oh god,
didn't
yeah.
let me down.
God, the ending of Uncharted 4 was so good. You look at the ending of Uncharted 4 and you just kind of sit there and go, that is how a game should end. This is how you put, the bow on the present. This is how a series should end. It was perfect.
It was, and it's okay, I don't care. They can make little off spins or whatever. Don't touch the original story.
Yeah, Nathan's Drake story is done. The book is closed. You want to do this DLC that's coming out that talks about Chloe? Hey, I'm all on board. Chloe was my babe in the game series anyway. I was one of those people that was motherfuck. Hell, I don't even remember her goddamn name now. Ellen. No, that was Last of Us. Shit. Whoever,
that was a good game.
The blonde chick that Nathan winds up marrying. I was in Camp Chloe. Why couldn't you have put him with Chloe, you fucking son of a bitch?
Well, see, and I like that because, they jump with her. She just randomly shows up in other games with him, and it's just oh, hey, there's something here. And they created the chemistry very well. Sometimes you miss that chemistry with the characters that they create. I mean, yeah, they're created characters, but at the same time, it's we have these two characters, they're going to end up together, but how do we make it seem like their relationship's just nothing but entirely fucked up?
Yeah, and I feel like they did a good thing with how they handled Nathan and Ellie, where okay, he clearly cares about her, he loves her, but he loves the other girl more, and God, that's gonna bug the shit out of me until I figure out what the hell her name is. Nathan Drake's wife.
Google for the win.
Elena. God damn it. Elena.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you clearly see this chemistry where, like, he sees both sides of his life, like two sides of a coin between Chloe and Elena. Where if he stays with Chloe, he's gonna be doing what he's been doing in these 4 games for the rest of his life until eventually it lands him in jail or he gets killed, where Elena represented normalcy and his way out and ultimately of what he wanted of not doing this anymore. So, and it was that perfect love triangle that they wound up just tying up perfectly by the end of the second game, because that's ultimately where you kind of see things go, as Chloe kind of bows out gracefully, saying, like, you're gonna miss this ass, and every single one of us sitting there going, yeah, we are gonna miss it. But we could talk about this shit for the rest of the night, so let's just kind of wrap it up. Like, fantastic story. The single player is amazing, just like every other Uncharted game. The multiplayer is a ton of fun, to the point I'm actually surprised there's not some form of competitive scene for it. And it's just, it was, out of
Actually,
all
there
the
is.
There is?
ESL has a Uncharted. Let me find it.
Well, okay, we know it exists, and it's about damn time that it did. So, yeah, like, if you were going to spend $60 on a game this year, my number one pick, the first game I would tell you to get, like, hey, I just got a PS4, go fucking get Uncharted 4 and
Just
get
buy
the
the
Nathan
combo
Drake
set.
collection.
Just buy the combo set with 4 in it, and then buy the collection, and then just relive it over and over.
Yes. But alright, now that we've derailed for like the 4th fucking time because we have a hard-on for Nathan Drake,
Yes.
Twisted, your number one pick of 2016.
So my number one pick is actually a retro style game. Now, me being as old as I am, have a very up close and personal relationship with retro games, and that was actually
I'm a dinosaur.
all right.
Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon. Not much
I'm
of a
not
replay
mad.
value. It was fun, just for the fact that it wasn't designed by a big studio. Okay.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is as popular as it is astounds me. That shows anyone who wants to make a video game and wants to do that themselves that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that and the whole concept of the game was just fun. The parodies of everything is just hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched one of the streamers I watch all the time. He was a dude that I got into when I was on my Binding of Isaac kick, and that's
That game was fun,
fucking Cobalt Streak, and he played Enter the Gungeon like constantly. So yeah, like it looked a lot of fun. It was just one of those things that wasn't super high up on the priority list for me to buy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Justin, your number one pick.
Alright, my number one pick is Fire Emblem Fates for the 3DS.
There you go.
So I would like to thank Justin for representing the Nintendo fan club on this podcast.
I really like this one because I thought it was neat that out of all the Fire Emblem games, we actually got to choose what route we got to take. You know, there's 2 warring kingdoms, and you actually get to pick who you're going to fight with.
Yeah.
And then what was really cool is they added a 3rd game where you can actually, you don't fight with either kingdom, but all the characters join you. So it was interesting to see characters from the warring kingdoms now fighting alongside each other.
Nice.
And of course, there's the character customization. I always love character customization.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like you can almost never run out of gameplay because you have the support conversations, so you learn things about like main characters, main storyline elements. So I feel like you never really run out of gameplay. I really like that.
Hey, I mean, getting your money's worth out of a game, in the end, that's what it's all about, so...
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, and I know I cracked that little joke at you, but I actually like having your perspective on something like that with, like, the whole Nintendo fan club type of thing, because normally, like, let's be fair, I'm not a big advocate of Nintendo, so you give me that bird's eye view of like these games that normally I would just overlook because it's just like whatever.
Oh, I'm not offended at all. In fact, I even told you the other day, I think it's great that we have a variety on here and it's not like all the same games on here.
Indeed, like how fucking boring would this podcast have been if like now we did have a couple copies in these top 10s here, but they were all in different places and we all had different reasons why we enjoyed it. So I'd say that's a fairly successful top 10.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I mean, come on, the first game I ever met you on, Josh, you were playing Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of the Batman series from the beginning, and it's like, cool, he's playing Arkham Knight. Okay. Subscribe.
Yeah, as much as I like... God, you would go to my channel on a Sunday night and you would think I just eat, sleep, and breathe Batman, but it's just like, I really don't like Batman all that much. And it's like,
I was gonna say, I saw your, what's his face from Twilight? Or not Twilight, oh my god, really?
wow.
Please edit that, please edit that.
Get the fuck out. No, that's staying in.
Damn it. You had the swords all at the guy. I don't like Batman. I saw that at work and I almost fell off my ladder. I was laughing so hard.
We just saw a closet door just go swinging the fuck open over at Guido's house.
I'm gonna go play in traffic now.
Guido really sits at home watching the Twilight series.
Nah, I mean, and alright, here, I'll defend him. I've seen the Twilight movies.
So have
I didn't enjoy them, but I saw them, so... Alright, let's go ahead and wrap up here, because it's now past 11, and we're getting dangerously close to 2 hours. So,
But it has gone by pretty smoothly, I think.
Yeah, I think it went by very, very smoothly.
I think it was a good podcast. We should definitely do it again.
Oh, trust me, we will. Like, shortly after the next year, more than likely, I'm probably going to do a thing. Maybe not a top 10, but a top 5, most definitely. Most disappointing gaming moments in 2016.
Oh, God.
For those of you that wondered why Street Fighter V wasn't on my list, because it's waiting for another one.
The Division.
The Division, yes.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Like, and that's one of the things, it's like, okay, like, fucking... Yeah, they fixed their shit later on, The Division, fucking Street Fighter V, some other games and shit that just, like, they had very rocky launches. And yeah, they fixed it at time, but the initial launch was bad.
Yeah. Oh, were we gonna go over our anticipated games for 2017 real quick?
Oh, right. So, yeah, before we go ahead and call this a night, first off, thank you very much for watching, since obviously this is being recorded live, or if you're listening to this on YouTube or in the upload section on Twitch, thank you very much for watching. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, share the podcast around. Before we go, though, Guido, what is your most anticipated game of 2017? Just do one.
Damn it, I had 3.
Just do one.
Injustice 2.
There you go. And that kind of went without saying.
I know, right?
Alrighty, so Twisted. What about you?
Anyone who knows me can already tell what what my most anticipated is. Kingdom Hearts 3. I can honestly say I'm waiting for that.
The hopeful remain strong.
Well, I actually 2.8. That's coming out shortly, so.
Yeah, that does. What, that drops 24th of next month, I think, actually.
According to Game Informer, yeah.
And Justin, what's a game in 2017 that you're looking forward to?
Mine is actually not a game, but a system, and that's the Switch.
Okay.
Just real quick, normally I don't really get consoles as soon as they come out, but the Switch had me kind of intrigued. Like, I want to see what it can do.
Yeah, I'm skeptical at best when it comes to the Switch, but I will try my best to be optimistic about it. Oh,
Well,
like I've said before, only time will
it's
tell.
worth your time.
Yeah, I that's the thing. I need to know if it's going to be worth my time and money, because I've already been burned twice with the Wii and the Wii U. My Wii U just sits there and fucking collects dust. Although I guess at some point we could bring Mario Maker back.
I think the next thing we should do, Josh,
Oh yeah.
is top 10 rage-inducing games.
Nah, like I already have the next one set up. But
Make sure you do it on a day I'm actually off.
right. Alright, since I pretty much no secret what my most anticipated game for 2017 was, but since Guido already mentioned it, I will mention something else.
Done it twice now.
Yeah. Fucking bastard.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so my most anticipated game of 2017, and it's just mainly because I know for a fact this one's coming, and I know when it's coming, and that's going to be Mass Effect Andromeda. I have been such a fan of the Mass Effect games for so goddamn long that it's like, okay, I finally get another one, it's go time.
Are we getting a remaster on that one?
What do you mean?
For the original 3. Or did we already get one? I can't remember.
More than likely, we're probably not going to get a remaster of the other 3. Just simply because, well, Xbox already moved all 3 of the titles over to backwards compatibility. And if Sony wanted a remaster of that series, they'd have done it by now.
Good point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they could be waiting for the new
That
one
and the
to
first
come out,
game
like-
never even came to PlayStation.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
So, like, if it wasn't a multi-platform release, chances are more than likely you won't get a remaster.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I mean that's just kind of how the gaming industry goes. Every now and then you get an exception to the rule. Like for The Last of Us. The Last of Us got an HD remaster for the PS4, but
I think
nobody
people
else
would
got
think-
it because it was a Sony exclusive title. But then again, Halo got the Master Chief Collection, and nobody else got that. So
True.
yeah. But alrighty, so once again, thank you very much for listening in on episode 3 of the Primecast Top 10 Games of 2016. I had a blast doing it, like I always do, and we will see you sometime next year for episode 4 of the Primecast, and I will update everybody as soon as I am able as to when that's going to be. So once again,
Fourth
thank you.
Awakens.
Yeah. Right. Fucking up my outro. God damn it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and take care.